Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 27. I was gonna say 26. Big Brother 27 updates and spoilers. How's everybody doing today? It's Monday. Hope you're all having a great day so far. We got some fun friends in the house. We've got Christine from What's Up Cupcake. We have Dean, Broomstick. I'm also still so shook that Rachel's gone. It's upsetting. Aja's here. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get into it. Our house guests of the day, we have Anna and her son Jeremiah and her daughter Rosalie. I love that you all watch together. That's so awesome. And thank you for watching Big Brother along with us. We have Patricia Millings and we have Cindy May. Thank you both also so much. We really appreciate all of you guys so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, send us an email at madrosed@gmail.com and we will get you on the list. Just make sure you put house guest of the day in the subject line. I look like a witch today. This hair is just not doing it. All right. When we left off yesterday, Rachel is gone. She was eliminated in the bogus White Locust twist, which we will see play out on tomorrow night's episode. If you want more details on that whole situation went down, make sure you watch yesterday's stream because I got into it. I'm so pissed about it. But Rachel is the first member of the jury, and today is her anniversary with Brendan. Oh my god! Like Big Brother's first lady and first man. I don't know. The royal couple of Big Brother. Very exciting. So happy anniversary to the two of them. I'm sad that this is how they are celebrating, but I believe they did get to send flowers to each other, which is nice. So at least we have that. Yeah. So what's going on in the house? Well, Lauren is the HOH. She nominated Ashley, Will, and Morgan. And Ashley and Will didn't even get to compete for HOH this week because the only people that competed for HOH were the ones that did the elimination competition up until Rachel went, the people that went before her. So it was only Lauren, Vince, and Morgan. Nobody else got to compete for HOH, which is absolutely insane. But Lauren was toying with the idea of backdooring Keanu this week, but she would also be very happy with Morgan leaving. If Morgan stayed up on the block, she was kind of like, do I need to put Keanu up anyway? Like, why get another person angry at me? Maybe I don't need to do that. But they had the power veto competition and everyone was playing except for Kelly and Keanu. That's just the point that we're at in this season. And it was BB Comics. Ah! I'm normally so excited for BB Comics. It makes me sad that I'm just like, I guess. I did hear some of the details about some of the comics. They probably will be coming out online either tomorrow or Wednesday. They usually release them ahead of time for everybody to see. A few things that I'm trying to remember here. So I think Rachel's was about being an icon. Vince, they said his face looked old and tired. Brutal. Will's had his wife in it. Lawrence had something to do with Louisiana. I'm trying to think who else. I only heard bits and pieces of everybody's comics. Ava was like Ava-delic or something like psychedelic. I don't know. That's all I can remember off the top of my head, but I'm looking forward to seeing the comics. They're always a lot of fun. Now the question is, did I say Morgan won the veto? Morgan won the veto. So good for her. She was definitely in danger this week, so good on her for saving herself. But now the question is, will Lauren follow through and put Keanu up as their placement, or will she chicken out? Because she's really nervous that he will win the blockbuster competition and end up staying, and then he's going to be mad at her. So she's going back and forth on that, I guess. But other stuff we're keeping an eye on. Keanu is trying to get Vince up as the replacement nominee. Not necessarily because he wants Vince to leave, but because his thinking is if Vince goes up, he and Vince can both stay. He's feeling like if I go up, I'm not going to have the votes. I'm going to be in trouble. But if Vince goes up, we can both stay and we can continue to work together. Oh, Lauren was the Bayou babe. Okay. Oh, Kelly, yes, I did see something about peanut butter and Kelly. Another thing we're looking at here, Morgan has been trying to turn Vince against Lauren, telling Vince she's going to have to go. We can't go to the end with her. She can win competitions, she could win jury votes. Morgan is feeling really uneasy because Vince picked Lauren in the elimination competition over Morgan. So that is not something that Morgan's feeling great about. She's wondering where Vince's priorities are. Also, the fact that Lauren put her up on the block, she's not feeling great about that. So she is not pro Lauren right now. I mean, we've seen in the past she has been very suspicious of Lauren, especially ever since Lauren voted for her to go against Riley. So she's trying to convince Vince that if he wins HOH next week, he needs to put Lauren up on the block. But we know he's not going to do that. He's not going to put her up. Another thing worth mentioning, many of the house guests have been upset about the whole elimination competition twist. Yeah, they're feeling like they're on the challenge now, not Big Brother. Their social games are going down the drain. They put in all this work and now they feel like they have no chance of winning because they're not confident that they can win a competition. It is pretty messed up. That this is all coming down to competitions now. That is not what Big Brother is. We talked about this extensively yesterday, but Big Brother it's got a certain way of eliminating people, right? You have to be evicted. You have to face a vote. So eliminating people based on competitions is just not in the spirit of the show. It just doesn't make sense. So the house guests are feeling really upset about that, and I would have to strongly agree with them. I think it's messed up, and I hope that they're not going to be doing more of that this season, but I kind of get a bad feeling. I don't know. But let's get into the new stuff here. Yesterday afternoon, Vince and Morgan were chatting in the attic bedroom, and they were talking about how crucial jury management is at this point in the game, because it's only a 7-person jury. You need 4 votes to win this whole thing. So if you mess up with one person, that could be hugely detrimental for you. You could really lose the game with one wrong move. So Vince is saying, I will never let Kelly win this game. He says if Kelly is sitting next to an empty chair, I'm voting for the empty chair. How do we get an empty chair to final 2? Just going off of who's left this season, I wouldn't be opposed to having some empty chairs in the finale. But Vince starts ranting, saying, I refuse to let somebody who doesn't even know Big Brother, who's played a terrible social game, who's played reckless, pointless. Kelly walks in. Ah! Kelly walks in. She's just like, hi, guys. So that ended that conversation. I don't think she heard anything, but yeah. Okay, so a little later, Keanu is chatting with Lauren, and of course that means it's time for Lauren to fire up the HOH spy screen so she doesn't have to make any eye contact with Keanu. She's the iPad kid, but Keanu does not want to go up as the replacement nominee. Duh. So he tells Lauren, if I leave, you're going to be next, and you should put Vince up on the block. He would have the votes to stay. Keanu's really frustrated here. He says, I put Vince up on the block last week to gain your trust. Is that why he did it though? Because I'm pretty sure he did it to teach Vince a lesson, right? He wanted to teach Vince a lesson for lying to him so many times throughout the game. I don't think it was really to gain Lauren's trust, because Lauren would not have wanted Vince to go up on the block, no matter how many times he screws her over. But Keanu says now that Lauren is considering putting him up, he feels like he did all that for nothing. I mean, let's be real. Remember last week when Rachel was pitching that Lauren should go up as the replacement nominee, and Keanu was like, no, Lauren's a number for me. I'm not doing that. And Rachel was like, no, she's not a number for you. She would put you up on the block. Keanu didn't want to believe it. And now look at where we are. Keanu also mentioned on one of the episodes that 2 of his favorite things are effing around and finding out. So I guess he's about to find out. But Lauren tells Keanu, you're a strong competitor. And Keanu's like, Okay. So, like, what does that mean, though? You want me to go? Like, I'm a strong competitor, so you want me out of here? Or are you saying you want me up on the block so that I'll win the blockbuster competition? And Lauren's like, I want you to win the blockbuster. Girl, that's a lie. She wants Keanu out. But Keanu brings up, if I am in that blockbuster comp and I lose, I'm gonna be voted out. Like, I'm not gonna have the votes to stay. Um, but if you put Vince up and he loses, he will stay. Would he though? I think Keanu believes that Vince would stay, but would he? Because I've heard Kelly talking about how she would love to vote Vince out. She would be down to do that. And Keanu was like, no, don't do that. And I guess he's convinced that Kelly would do what he wants. But I mean, I'm pretty sure Kelly would vote Vince out if he was on the block. So Keanu is asking Lauren, why are you okay with sacrificing me, but not Vince? And Lauren says, I'm not okay with it. I don't want to sacrifice you. But she says she just thinks that Keanu has the best chance of winning the blockbuster. And Keanu argues, well, Vince would probably have the same odds that I would. I mean, we're competing against Will and Ashley here. And everybody's assuming Will and Ashley are going to lose this competition. You never know. Anybody can win these blockbuster competitions for the most part. I mean, they are designed to be winnable by anybody. So Keanu is saying, like, we would both have a good chance to win this thing. He also brings up how Vince has directly messed up Lauren's game multiple times. I mean, she's used the veto on him. He turns around and takes out one of her best friends in the house the following week. He voted for Adrian to go. Well, I mean, Lauren put him on the block. He voted for Riley to go. She was working with him. So Vince has not been kind to Lauren's game. Keanu says, again, if I lose the competition, they're going to vote me out. And then you will be seen as the next big comp beast. But if I'm here, I'm a shield for you. So if you really do want to keep both me and Vince in here, you should put Vince up on the block. And like his argument definitely makes sense. Again, I think Kelly would actually vote for Vince to go. But the problem here, the main problem here is that Lauren wants Keanu out. He does not seem to realize that. He seems to be under the impression that she would just be putting him up as a pawn, but like she wants him out. She does not want him to stay. So Keanu's like, I just want you to know it's really gonna hurt my feelings if you put me up and I realize you find more value in Vince over me. And he asks Lauren, what has Vince done to benefit your game besides picking you to play in the elimination competition, like over Morgan? So Lauren doesn't really like have an answer for that, but she's just like, I'm sorry. She's like kind of teary eyed. And Keanu's telling her, please just like consider what I'm saying. If you don't want to go to the final two with me, I get it. Take your shot at me. But he says it's too early for that because I am a shield for you. Okay, so after this, I thought Keanu made a lot of good points, but like she's not putting Vince up. So Kelly talks to Lauren next, and Lauren says she really only has 4 options for the renom, and out of those 4, she's not putting up Kelly or Ava, so that really only leaves Keanu or Vince. Now again, I'm pretty sure she's like 100% settled on putting Keanu up, but she needs to pretend like she doesn't know what she's gonna do. So Lauren is saying, I don't want to make an enemy of either of them, especially since they're probably going to stay. They're going to win that blockbuster. And Kelly's like, you should just put up Keanu because he has been very forgiving of people all season. I mean, you've put him up before. He was fine. You know, he's fine with Vince after Vince put him up. Um, so she's telling Lauren, I don't want. Wait, did he put Keanu up? I can't even remember anymore. Yeah, right? I'm losing my mind. But she tells Lauren, I don't want Keanu to go, but it would be a huge resume builder for whoever takes him out. Just putting it out there. So Lauren is like, I know, but I don't want Keanu to hate me. He told me he'd be upset if he goes up on the block. Who's going to be happy about it? No one's going to be happy about it. But Kelly also, again, brings up, you have already put him up on the block before. So, like, what does it matter? What's the difference? So, Morgan also has a chat with Lauren, and Morgan is, of course, pushing for Keanu to go up. She's not going to push for Vince. She's pissed that Keanu is trying to get Vince nominated. She's like, I don't like when people come after my people. Morgan is all in on the Vince train. Like, there's no going back from that. Oh my God. If she knew the things that Vince has lied about to her, if she knew about that scheme last week and how Keanu was going to pull a switcheroo, she'd still probably stick with Vince. Oh my God. No. But Morgan says, if Keanu wins the blockbuster competition and stays, everyone is going to have your back. You don't have to worry. Everyone moving forward, except for Kelly, would probably put Keanu up on the block. So, like, you don't have to worry about that. Okay. So later, Kelly and Keanu chat, and Keanu says, it just doesn't make sense for Lauren to put me up on the block unless she's trying to backdoor me. Yeah, what are you not getting? But he says, if that's the case, I wish she would have just put me up as an initial nominee so that I could have played for veto. That's kind of the point. Like, she didn't want you to have that chance to win the veto. That's why she didn't put you up. That's what's happening here. Ooh, but Keanu brings up Rachel did warn him about Lauren and how Lauren would eventually come after him. And she was right. Keanu is finally starting to realize that. But Keanu says, Lauren, if she puts me up, she better hope that I don't win the blockbuster competition, because if I do, I will make it my mission to take both Lauren and Morgan out of this game. So then Keanu starts talking about how flabbergasted he is at how people are playing this game. He says, at this point, I think I'm the one that's bad at this game. Because I see the moves that people should be making, and then I'm like, why aren't they making them? Especially when I tell them to their face, I lay it out for people, and then they actively do the opposite. Like, I'm trying to deceive them into making a horrible move. But Keanu says, I'm trying to help them, which would also help me. So he asks Kelly, am I making horrible reads and people are just like, go F yourself? You don't know what you're talking about? And Kelly's like, no. Kelly's an enabler here. And then Keanu's like, or are these people the ones who don't know what they're doing? He says, at this point, I feel like I'm the one who doesn't know what the F he's doing. He's finally figuring it out. He's finally putting the pieces together. Unfortunately, it might be too late for him. But Kelly says, no, it's not you. I'd say it's both, but yeah, most of these house guests are playing poorly. They're not playing smart games this year. But in other news, Will and Ashley spent a good chunk of time talking last night about how broken the game is now. They bring up you could basically just stay in your room all season, not talk to anyone, and make it this far in the game, just winning competitions. Just winning those blockbusters to keep yourself safe. You don't have to win any of the other comps as long as you win the blockbuster. Kelly. Ashley also says, at this rate, the best gamer, the best strategist won't win this year. They're worried that it's going to be like Lauren versus Kelly in the final two. Oh my God. And they're saying they would vote for Kelly to win. But they also were talking about how they feel like they're going to be screwed if one of them does leave on Thursday. They're not going to have the numbers anymore. They've lost Mickey. They've lost Rachel. If one of them goes, they have no control at this point. So they're freaking out about it, and rightly so. Also, last night, Kelly chatted with Lauren in the kitchen. This was pretty interesting. Kelly was suggesting maybe Vince should go up as replacement nominee instead of Keanu. Earlier, she was saying it was Keanu. Now she's suggesting Vince. And she's telling Lauren, you can trust Keanu more than you can trust Vince. She says, Keanu genuinely wants to keep you here, but I don't know if Vince does. And Kelly says, it would be really good for your resume if Vince left on your HOH. And Lauren's like, Yeah, but even if I put him up, he's gonna be up against Ashley and Will in the blockbuster, basically saying Vince is gonna win and he's gonna end up staying and he's gonna be pissed at me. And Kelly's like, yeah, but you could frame that as you giving him the best possible chance to stay. And he shouldn't be that upset because how many times has he screwed you over in this game? And you're just putting him up as replacement nominee with like a really good chance to stay. So Lauren's like, yeah, but like I definitely want him to stick around because I feel like Vince still owes me. And Kelly's like, Vince still owes me a lot in this game, and he has never repaid it. I mean, Kelly thought she was going to be getting some goodwill from offering herself up as a nominee multiple times, and she has not been repaid for that. So Kelly asks Lauren, what has Vince actually done to prove himself to you in this game? And Lauren's like, well, he did pick me first for the elimination competition. He chose me. And Kelly's like, yeah, but like with why am I not saying this right? With the condition that you would then pick Morgan. Was that like a stipulation? Interesting. So Kelly says, if it were up to me, I would separate Morgan and Vince, even if that means that Vince goes this week. Okay, I like where Kelly's going with this. I like that she's going to bat for Keanu here. I like that she's wanting to split up Vince and Morgan. But unfortunately, Lauren's not going to do this. She's not going to do it. Also, last night, Ava was going on and on to whoever would listen about Rachel yanking her arm when Ava was trying to decide who she would pick to compete in the elimination competition first. And she's like, Rachel sent herself home. If she didn't do that, maybe I would have picked her. She's all frankly this, frankly that. She cannot stop talking about this Rachel thing. I think the guilt is oozing out. And I'm not saying that she needed to pick Rachel, but like, why did she not pick any of her allies? Why was she asking for volunteers? It's just, I still don't understand it. It's crazy. But today they had the power veto ceremony. Morgan used the veto on herself, of course. It wasn't a question this week because Vince was not on the block next to her. But Lauren put up Keanu in Morgan's place. So we have Keanu versus Ashley versus Will on the block. I'm really bummed about this because I don't want any of those three to leave. I don't like it. But after the ceremony, Vince and Lauren reaffirm their final two. Lauren was like, this is it, right? And Vince was like, oh, yeah, yeah. How many final twos does he have left at this point? But also, they were talking about this as Morgan was making Vince a bagel sandwich, her infamous bagel sandwich. Dirty, dirty, dirty on Vince's part. Keanu was talking to Kelly after the ceremony, and he is pissed that Lauren put him up. And he says, if I win HOH, the first thing that I would do is put up Lauren, Vince, Morgan. Just put all three of them up there. I'll give them something to cry about. Ah! I'd love to see it. I really would. But he says Vince is going to lose this game no matter who he sits next to. So he thinks that Vince will throw Keanu a vote. I'm not really understanding the logic there, but I guess he thinks that Vince thinks that he's gonna lose, so he'll just like I think what he's saying is Vince is going to vote for Keanu to stay because he doesn't want to lose Keanu's jury vote. Because Keanu is saying, I'm not going to vote for Vince to win if he votes me out. So I guess he figures Vince doesn't want to risk losing that jury vote. But like he's gonna vote Keanu out, I'm pretty sure. So Keanu also says, I don't get the thought process unless Lauren is taking a shot at me. She is. She's taking a shot at you. How is that not clear at this point? But he says he wishes that Lauren would just own it. He says this is some shit that Vince does, acting like you're not taking a shot at somebody and not just being upfront with people. And he says maybe that's why Vince and Lauren get along so well. I mean, it's a big part of it. It's definitely a big part of it. But Keanu and Ashley also had a little bit of a game chat this afternoon. They agreed to vote to keep each other if either of them come off the block. I don't know that that's true for either of them. I just don't. I don't know about that. I think that might be a little bit of BS, but they were kind of comparing notes on things a little bit. It was interesting to see these two game chat. Yeah, I kind of want to see them work together, but I also don't want to lose Will. But like he is injured at this point, so like I don't know how much of a chance he's going to have anyway with all these competitions, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't want any of them to go. Um yeah, so we've got 3 days left until the eviction. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm really not happy with how things have gone in the last few days on productions and the decisions that they've made with these twists, but this is where we are, right? We got to work with what we got. So I want to thank you all so much for being here. I want to give a special thanks to our super chatters. Rob Madden, thank you so much. Rob and Sumner, of course. Rob says the gift is now being delivered on Saturday the 13th, and it's from Shutterfly. Oh, thank you so much, and love all your lives. Thank you. Thank you for joining. And we hope that you and Sumner are both doing well. Daniel Ferrara, thank you so much. Daniel says, I'm still so heartbroken about Rachel's elimination. Do you think CBS or production saw the public disapproval, especially from the alum? Yes, I think they definitely did. I think they keep close tabs on what people are saying on social media. I'm sure they've had a lot of people complaining. Um, will it affect things? Unfortunately, I don't know that it would affect things moving forward because I just feel like while the live feeds community is very strong, it's way smaller than the people that only watch the show. So if they're still happy with the numbers of people watching the show, I don't think that they care as much about how upset the live feeders are. You know what I mean? So, like, even though all of us live feedsters are incredible and we care so much about this show, I think the production team is going to be and the network are going to be more concerned about the casual viewers and keeping those TV ratings up. So I don't know how much they're going to take all that into consideration moving forward, unfortunately, but I'm sure they are very aware of the outrage online. Thank you again to Daniel. Bailey almost, thank you so much. Bailey says more like white bogus twist. Amen. I like that. Gone but never forgotten. So disappointed in BB right now. Glad former house guests have spoken out. It's ridiculous. I totally agree. I even saw like people from other reality shows were speaking out, like freaking Wes from the challenge. Um people are pissed. I mean, I get it. Like I'm right there with you. It's ridiculous. Carrie, thank you so much. Carrie says, happy or sad, Rachel Riley provides excellent entertainment. Yes. I will be giving her my vote for America's favorite player. Woo! Me too. I really think she's earned it. She kept this season interesting. She kept it going. Ooh. I feel like the house has been so dead since Rachel's left. I just feel like I've heard so many of the house guests even say, like, this was so much more fun when Rachel was here. And I'm not just talking about Ashley or Will. Keanu has been so sad. Um, I've heard a lot of them talk about how empty it feels now and how bored they are. But yes, I agree. Rachel for America's favorite. We got to give it to her. True Teddy, thank you so much. And they said I called it that Ava is fake, especially when she lashed out at Keanu in the veto. We wanted her to stop sleeping. Now she is up terrorizing live feeds. I know. It's mind-boggling to me the 180 that Ava has done because she was like all buddy buddy with Rachel before and Ashley. And now she can't stop talking trash about either of them. And I don't know. I feel like she can't stop talking crap because she's trying to justify what she did. And I remember when the whole thing happened with Keanu with the I believe you have a prompt for me or whatever. Um I remember her talking about how he yelled at her and how crazy it was, but like from what we saw, it was literally just I believe you have a prompt. I don't know if there was more that we didn't see or what, but like I don't know how much she's exaggerating this whole Rachel thing. I don't know, but It's weird. This is not the Ava that I know and love from a few weeks ago, but or even a few days ago. But yeah, I want to thank you all for being here. Um That's it. So, thanks everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is the double feature. We have the spoiler live stream and the special Tuesday night episode, which I'm dreading. But we'll see what happens. So, thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful Monday night. And until next time, much love. Bye everybody. Bye. Oop, bye.